this club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0.
Can you believe it?
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we are bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir, how you doing? How you doing? Day late, not $1 short. Got a great victory yesterday and some even better results with our rivals. Great Wednesday. How you doing? How you feeling?
Absolutely buzzing. The Brighton 3-0, sir, yesterday. Exactly what we needed. Bruno with the brace, the Portuguese Magnifico, our Portuguese Magnifico. Couldn't do it much better, especially after that sort of questionable Norwich FA Cup performance.
You know, it was a big change of pace. He got the starting 11 right once again. I think this is, everybody's favorite starting 11. We got a team going, as Paul Scholes said. So good to see that 11. And they went out and they was convincing from the jump. Just a dominant performance from United. There's so many standout players in this game. Matic played unbelievably well. Greenwood, Bruno, Pogba. It's a fun game to watch, and football is a joy again at Manchester United.
Yeah, and a shout out to Ole as well. He got the tactics spot on. I was tweeting it out live, sending everyone forward, fullbacks getting forward, Basaka, Luke Shaw, obviously Pogba pulling the strings, Bruno in the hole. I mean, he just told the boys, like, hey, we got the better side, go out there, let's finish them early, finish them in the first half. We went for broke, and it worked. We didn't get that counterattack goal. We were able to break them down. That's exactly what we want from Manchester United. And hopefully this is a new leaf we can turn over in absolutely dominating lower opposition on the way to top four.
We have some lowly opposition to face. They've been a thorn in our side during the beginning of Ole's reign. So his bread is going to be buttered if he can just roll and get as many points as he can in these upcoming, 6 games left. So it's going to be big. United, I don't think we should lose a game. I think we should roll on, smash Chelsea in the upcoming semifinals of the FA Cup. But things are looking good. This team can stay healthy. I think the starting 11 can fight with the best of them.
Oh, absolutely. And I think part of that is just knowing our starting 11, right? We can name the team coming up from Bournemouth. I think it'd both be identical. We know who's starting. Everyone's getting a breather. I think I saw there was on Instagram, there was an off-day tweet where they're all getting those inflatable leg massages with Bruno and Igalo and Matic hanging out. So the lads are going to have a rest. We all know who's starting again. And it's just like, do it up again. Fill it up again. 3-0, Bournemouth. See you later.
I mean, that's the tactic. You bring out your strongest starting 11. This end of the season is going to be a sprint, right? There's so many games coming, and the turnaround is real quick. Some of them, ridiculous, 2-3 days. So I think it's going to be all about smashing teams early and then getting people off the field, getting subs in. So this was a great performance, and Ole got a spot on, and we're just rolling on. Got a big game of the weekend. We got to do it against Bournemouth.
And shout out to Bruno's engine. I mean, honestly, what do you do? 120 minutes at Norwich, comes back, plays against Brighton, just absolutely crushes it, gets the brace. I mean, where would we be without Bruno Fernandes? Or Bruno Fernandes?
Bruno Fernandes, game, season-changing transfer. We don't get ahead of ourselves because we still haven't won anything yet, but he just feels like one of those catalyst-type transfers that clubs go through, especially a club like Manchester United. We've had more than a few of them in our tenure. So he could be on something. I think he just takes a lot of the pressure off Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba seems to be really enjoying his football, smiling again. And the 11. I think the 11 is just figured out. Matic is a stud and is kind of holding it all together. He is really probably, I think, the best football he's played since joining Manchester United. And you could say that probably for a lot of players as well. I think Pogba looks as good as he's ever looked at United, with Bruno kind of taking some of that off his shoulders.
No, absolutely. But can you name a player who's had that big of an impact coming in January in recent memory? I cannot. The last one I'd point to is Zlatan. He came in, hit the ground running, seemed like he gave the lads a big confidence boost. That's the last transfer I can really see moving the needle. Came in right from the jump.
January.
Absolutely owned it and killed it. But as far as January, that's even more difficult to do.
Cantona. Cantona came in January from Leeds, and that was a hit from the jump. What'd you say?
quite a while. You got to turn back.
No, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, but that was the beginning of something special. And I'm not saying that our man Ole is gonna rival Sir Alex, but it could be something special for us in the near term. So excited for that. This team's got a lot of prospects to stay fit and just keep pushing on. I think, you listen to the manager. He says they can only get better, and I think he's right.
No, look, Bruno, not only is he scoring goals, not only have we completely turned around with 15 unbeaten, making Pogba better, making Pogba want to stay, maybe. I mean, like, the things Bruno Fernandes has done since he's joined this club, I cannot be understated. I mean, we obviously are talking about him. Clearly, you got a Matic stepping up, Luke Shaw stepping up. There's a lot of players. It's not just Bruno, but the feel-good factor has seemed to come with him because we almost forget the doldrums that were when Ole and the squad were struggling with injuries earlier this year, and we just couldn't put anything together really as far as form.
Yeah, I mean, injuries don't help, and poor form doesn't help, right? No one's going to be in a good mood when they're losing games, losing to the Crystal Palaces of the world, the Burnleys of the world. So now they're coming out and playing creative football, playing with freedom, and they just seem to really, really enjoying themselves. And they look like United team of old. Like that third goal in this Brighton game was a beauty. I mean, one of the most beautiful. It was probably the most beautiful goal we've scored since the 13th season. It was just like silky, and it was unbelievable. What a finish! The whole thing. I mean, it's art. 4 touches, dude.
I mean, we're getting back to those old feels.
I know.
Those old feels. Like, even when Ole was at the wheel, even peak Ole's at the wheel, this seems better.
No, this is better because this team has more legs. This team has competition. It's got a world class midfield. This is a world class midfield. I think it's the best midfield in the league with all 3 of those players fit. So we got to finish the season strong, and hopefully that gives Wilbur enough cash to get the big deal done that we all want to get done, and we kick on. Because Chelsea, you watched that West Ham game today. They are not. Rivaling for the league, and I think
Super Frank,
dude, Moyes, pull the trick out.
How you doing in the London Derby, Super Frank? All right, let's jump in. Quick PSA for the podcast. You listen to the pod, please drop a review on iTunes. Goes a long way for us getting found organically. And also, if you support the pod, please visit americanreddevils.com. We have a fan blog for fans by fans. That's what this podcast is all about, getting the fan perspective on Manchester United out there, especially from this side of the pond as well. So there's not really an American voice out there. A lot of the UK, a lot of the UK fans do listen. They love it, but it's nice to have a little bit of an American perspective on the team that we love so much. You can check out our merchandise, click on store if you go to americanreddevils.com, and subscribe to our new YouTube channel. Like I always said, it's 2 guys and a dog out here in California doing our best to try to put this thing together. I am remote. Apologies. It's been a crazy week. Alex, you've been smashed with work. I had the in-laws here, so we're just juggling a lot of different things. Lots of fixtures, but you know what? Who cares? Have an ale, sir. What kind of ale are you having right now? I can see it on the Skype.
Oh, I'm drinking a Superbock and thinking about our Portuguese Magnifico, right? Because he had a game, and what a player! What a player! Everybody loves Bruno Fernandes, and what's not to like?
Hey, you know what it is? Look, lots of things juggling. We're going to be doing our best. Pod never sleeps. We'll be getting you a pod after every match, trying to do it the day of. If not, we'll get it the next day. So appreciate you guys dealing with the audio. It is much better than the bunker. The vibes are much better than the bunker, sir. But we got to make do with what we got. Life gives you lemons. You make lemonade. Jumping in, Brighton 0, Manchester United 3 at the Amex. It was yesterday. We all know how it went. Lineup, Dave saves world number 1 in net. Luke, the impossible meat pie Shaw at left back. Harry Maguire. Lindelof likes to wear dresses sometimes. Center back pairing.
Playing pretty well.
Wan-Bissaka, Matic, Pogba midfield, Bruno Fernandes in the hole, Mason Greenwood on the right, Red Hot Rashford on the left, and Tony Martial came from France, leading the line. We didn't have any comments about this lineup. We all know it's the best lineup for Manchester United, right? We knew what it would be.
It's really comforting now to have a bang on 11. You know, when I saw this, you're speechless. I'm without speech because you're just so excited to see a good 11 that beat a team handily before come out again and with the same expectation, and then they come out from the jump and they don't disappoint. That's a team that just goes about its business. You can tell they're playing with a lot of confidence. And whew, sir, we're just getting started.
Sir, it's like the feeling when you have a really good barber. You know, you're getting you're getting a good haircut every time. You're getting a good match every time. Then you switch it up, and you never know. You're kind of rolling the dice. That's kind of how it feels with the starting 11 at Manchester United. Now we know that we got the guy who's got the nice fade in the back. It's sharp, clean every time. Only $25. You know, it's a great deal. This is the best line.
Great deal. This is the best line about. And you know, I think we can take home a couple pieces of silverware if everybody stays fit, because it's a very good starting 11. You know, even with Rashford and Martial not having a great day, you got Greenwood stepping up, Fernandes stepping up, Pogba, Matic. It's good to have strength throughout.
And shout out to that bench. We have Romero, Bailly, Williams, Andreas, Fred, James, Mata, McTominay, and Igalo FC. So a strong bench combination. I still think Ole's unsure of the rotation, exactly how the squad looks if he needs to rotate on a tight fixture schedule, and we're going to have those coming up. So Ole will need to rotate. The question is who he decides to rest and when. Bruno Fernandes, looking at him a little bit, but I don't think he's going to get any rest at Bournemouth, mainly because we have quite a bit of a break. But it's going to get tighter as we go on, so that's something we're going to have to be thinking about. First half, United quickly take control of the game with Brighton happy to sit back. Brighton were really not in it from the start. 12th minute, Bruno Fernandes, amazing opportunity, hits the right post with a right-footed shot outside the box, assisted by Paul P. Bruno in it from the jump, wants to get that goal.
High fives are coming around. I think Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes love playing together, and it showed in this play. How many times has he hit the post already? I feel like he's hit the post 4 times since he's been here.
I love the comments from shooting, and also Paul Pogba not being selfish, not doing too much. It seems to me when we saw Pogba playing earlier this season, he always tried too much. He was caught in different positions, trying to do too much flair. Now with Bruno, I always feel there's that layoff pass right to him. He has confidence. His partner can get the shot off. He's unselfish, sir. An unselfish Paul Pogba, getting lots of assists on Manchester United. Absolutely love it. We didn't have to wait too long to net, sir. In the 16th minute, give me that Telemundo.
Era Juan Bisaca, aquí está Mason, la tiene, le pega de zurda, Mason Greenwood, aguantaron 16 minutos.
Unbelievable goal for Mason Greenwood. Gives him a little step over, shimmy, shake, left-footed shot. Nutmegs the defender from Brighton right into the net. I mean, the confidence of this young lad. Unbelievable. Absolutely killing it.
How old is he? 18? What were you doing at 18? Were you scoring goals like that? I went out, kick a ball around 2 days ago. Screw up my knee for 2 weeks. Mason Greenwood at 18, he looks, I don't know. We call Wan-Bissaka the truth, don't we? What do we call Mason Greenwood? Because he just looks like a phenom. Like Rashford is a talent, but Mason Greenwood, I mean, have you seen a finisher that can do what he's been doing at his age? Feels a little bit like Wayne Rooney. Different type of Wayne Rooney, but
there's no comparison, in my opinion. Right? You look at Rashford when he was young, very pacey, very thin, getting behind, and he had a good finish on him. But Greenwood's he wants to beat a man and score. He wants to make someone look bad and score. He wants to score on his left. He wants to score on his right. I mean, he is you're starting to see the next evolution of players. I think he is that at 18. He doesn't have the size in the box, not traditionally an English forward. You don't know if he's going to play on the right. You don't know if he's number 9, but man, he wants to score goals, and he has quite the confidence in the first team. Seeing him start the year and finishing the year, we're seeing the best of Mason Greenwood. And honestly, you're probably looking at the number 1 goal scorer for Manchester United next season in this type of form. I mean, he looks like when he gets the ball, I'm more sure of him scoring than Tony Martial or Marcus Rashford at this point. Martial tries to do a little too much sometimes. Rashford, you question the finishing sometimes, but Greenwood, ruthless.
Well, it's that shimmy and shake, which has gotten even better looking like since the break, because everybody was talking about how he got put on some extra muscle, improved even better, and now he's obviously made his way into the starting 11. That looks like it's paying off in a major way because, 13 goals already? 18 years old, hasn't even played that many minutes, and it's only going to get better and better with age. So we got a special one on our hands, Mason Greenwood. Remember the name, but, sir, I'm without speech. I'm still without speech. I can't. His performance all day. He played like a complete forward and was distributing the ball well. His hold up play was well. I think definitely played better than Martial and Rashford in this match, and then had the excellent ball later on the counter.
Yeah, it might be unfair to Martial and Rashford in what I said, but I just don't see someone who has that left-right threat and can do so much in such a small amount of space than Mason Greenwood, right? As far as getting the shot off, it's almost RVP-esque. I just think he's born to play in the box, born to finish, and he might be our number 9. Maybe in 2 years he'll be the bang-on number 9 in Manchester United. I like Martial on the left. I like Rashford on the left. Martial's actually doing well at number 9. I don't know what you think about that. We really don't have a pure number 9. Can Mason Greenwood be that, or you think Martial's the man to sort of learn in that position? He's been getting better.
No, I think he's going to play a fluid system where all the players kind of rotate around. Martial has been having a great season, right? Had that hat trick a couple games ago, and now Mason Greenwood looks like the best finisher on the team. He looks like just the fact that he can go left and right, and he's gotten so quick with the ball at his feet, drops that shoulder, and can just put it in the corners. So he's probably the guy you want to get the ball in the box to. But I think the way they're going to play now, which is expansive, open on the break, he's going to get plenty of chances, even if he plays on the wing, because he's not as fast as Dan James, but he's better with the ball, and he certainly can finish.
Yeah, that's really going to be the dilemma is when does Ole pull the trigger on getting Dan James in over Mason Greenwood, and how does he switch it up playing against like a City or maybe a Chelsea? We can get that later, sir. Got to finish this match. We got another goal in the 29th minute. Give me the Telemundo call, sir.
Qué buena para Luke Shaw, gol de Shaw, mete el centro y está el segundo. Tardaron un poquito, aparece Pogba, que el suyo Pogba, el remate.
Manchester United.
To be clear, we usually only have one Telemundo call just because they're so long. But Alex, you decided to have 3 Telemundo calls because I'm.
I couldn't help myself. I was just so excited about this result, and I'm sure United fans are feeling the same way, especially after Chelsea and Leicester. Right, just like 3 points away from top 3 for number 3.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
I just can't help myself.
I was on the William Hill app today getting the odds.
Yeah, how are they looking?
Dude, they're looking pretty good. That's all I gotta say. We go in halftime 2-0. What do you think Ole's saying to the lads?
Finish him. If he dies, he dies. They were playing dominating football, right? And controlling. It was never out of their hands in the first half at all. Honestly, Brighton had more chances in the second half, but just go out and do your job. You know how to play and keep doing what you're doing. You're going to create more chances.
Yeah, Brighton brought on Tassard at halftime. He definitely changed the attack for Brighton. Never could get there, but he looked dangerous. Little youngster coming on second half, jumping in. We came out great. Again, I feel like when the tide's going our way, especially we get that second goal in the first half, it's really hard for us to screw it up. I thought the defense was playing well. Everyone across the entire pitch. Montes chasing back. Everyone very comfortable out there. And also the level of play that we're seeing from United right now, especially with that tight turnaround in Norwich, is unbelievable. We're putting the screws to them, up 2 goals, and we're still going for the jugular. Absolutely love it from the boys, and that's a testament to their fitness and how well they stayed in shape over the COVID break, if we would call it that. We didn't have to wait long for number 3, 50th minute. Bruno.
It was a special one.
Departamento aéreo.
Sí, muy difícil. Es peligrosa, ¿eh?
Aquí se viene el Manchester United. 4 que atacan, 5 que defienden y está. ¡Gol! ¡Gol!
Sir, what a goal.
I mean, the pass from Matic to Greenwood, unbelievable. I mean, it's almost like you watch it back, you're like, what? Matic, are you serious? Like, what are you talking about, that ball from Matic? Unbelievable.
I mean, for a team that is renowned for counter-attacking goals in its history, this is one of the finest. This is as good as it gets because it's just 1, 2, 3 goal. It's a thing of beauty, as fast as it goes, and it was just exciting to watch.
I mean, I'm just like, I cannot believe that ball from Matic. If you look at how he hit it and how it was right into Greenwood's path, unbelievable. And it's like at that point in the game, we just know what the game plan is. So credit to Ole, tactics 100, lineup 100. You really have to roll out the red carpet for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here, because as much as we talk about the players stepping up to the task, Ole has shown significant improvement as a manager, and this is just one of them. The criticism about not being able to do it against lower opposition sides, absolutely aced the test here. 64th minute, triple sub. You got to sub him after the third goal. I tweeted that out as well. We had Williams coming on for Shaw. We had McSauce coming on for Pogba. Pereira on for Bruno. What do you think of those subs?
Great subs. You know, a lot of players that have gotten a lot of minutes and that have been playing very well, so they deserve to come off. Brandon Williams, I thought he looked great when he came on. Had a couple big tackles.
He is, I rate Brandon Williams big time. 66th minute, he had a great header, almost scored. I thought that was number 4 for him, assisted by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Again, Aaron Wan-Bissaka can do no wrong. Unbelievable, especially after that Tottenham performance when he came out a little shaky. 70th minute, double sub, James on for Rashford, Igalo on for Martial. Get the lads a rest. I'd like this sub as well. 84th minute, McTominay had a connected great outside the box. It deflected. Brighton keeper did well. Saved this one. Also, there was a nice Dave saves in there, sir. I did not have the time here on the agenda. We got to give a shout out to De Gea. He actually got his save. Brilliant as usual. I have to give a shout out to him because he did keep that clean sheet at the back. In 86th minute, there were 2 chances for Dan James. I thought it was a little selfish. He decided to shoot. Not a lot of confidence in those shots. I don't know what you thought about the opportunity. A lot of people slagging him off on Twitter. I don't think you need to slag him off. I think he just needs minutes, right?
I think he needs minutes. They're on target. He's trying to score. I can't fault him. One was worse than the other. One he should have passed. One he should have shot. It's like he's going to get more minutes and he's going to play better, and everyone is going to get better because everyone around them is pushing them to get better. And that's why Pogba's getting better. That's why even Bruno's getting better. You're seeing it with Greenwood, with Matic, even the defenders, right? Lindelof is starting to play really well. Also, Shaw, dude, where's Shaw been? Impossible Meat Pie is looking lights out. So I think it's just like that.
That's the thing. It's like fitness. Luke Shaw's. Look, some players like Wayne have like 10 ales, Rooney at the bar and drunk drive some chicks Beetle home, sir. It just happens. Like some players struggle with those meat pies. That crust. I
love a good meat pie.
But he's like credit to him. He's playing absolutely lights out. Look, we finished it out there. All around amazing performance from Manchester United. They did the business. They got the results. On to the next one, sir. Match reaction stats: 62% of the ball to United, 38% to Brighton. Shots on target 6-2. That's how we do. Corners 5-4. Manchester United extend their unbeaten run to 15 matches. Hoodies still undefeated, sir. We've won 11 and drawn 4. Only Bayern Munich, 25 games unbeaten, are currently on a longer streak without defeat among all sides in Europe's Big 5 leagues. Let's be honest, Bayern Munich, they don't really play in that great of a league. Manchester United have kept more clean sheets in the last 13 games, and they managed under their first for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which is only 7 under the first 40. So look, improvement at the back. I like to see that as well. And United completed a league double over Brighton for the first time since the 81-82 campaign, with tonight being their first away win over the Seagulls since April 1982. Look, Glenn Murray, he's had our number. For whatever reason, playing at the Amex has been hard. Maybe because the fans weren't there, we still did it. And Mason Greenwood's 6 goals for Manchester United in 2019-20 is the most by a player aged 18 or younger in a single Premier League season since who, sir? Who? Since who?
Waza.
Wayne Rooney scored 9 for Everton in 03-04. Hell of a comparison.
Remember the name.
And since his debut for Manchester United in February, Bruno Fernandes has been directly involved in more goals in all competitions than any other Premier League player. That is 10, 6 goals, 4 assists. Put some respect on that man's name. Have a glass of milk, Bruno.
I was going to ask you, what was he drinking? What was he drinking at the end of the game? Was it milk, or was it like some kind of?
He's the milkman. It used to be Chris the Milkman Smalling. For those who listen to the podcast, for the story about you being on that boat in Thailand where Chris Smalling was on it,
Vietnam. But yeah, he's the goat. But now we have our goat drinking his milk. It might not be milk, some kind of protein powder. It was suspicious.
It's in the news, sir. We'll get to that. And Fernandez has been directly involved in 8 goals in his first 8 league games for Manchester United. 5 goals, 3 assists. Only Robin van Persie had more goal involvements, 9 after as many games at the start of his Premier League career with the club. So, I mean, obviously pumping on all cylinders. But what do we know? Let's check in with Ole, Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sure he had a lot of controversial things to say. I'm sure he was throwing a lot of players on the bus like the great troll Jose Mourinho, right?
You got it.
Hi, Ollie. Good evening.
Good evening.
Another win, another clean sheet. Fantastic. But was that the most complete performance since we've come back from the break?
Well, I think we played well against Sheffield United as well, to be fair. But, of course, you go away here and have a clean sheet and manage to take players off after an hour. It's been a great night for us.
Have you got a clearer idea of your strongest 11? Or are other players trying to get into that 11? I know you're rotating things. But did you put your 11 out?
We've got many games coming up, and we'll keep chopping and changing. And players are getting better and better. The ones who haven't played, Paul, Marcus, they're getting sharper. Mason is improving all the time, and of course we've got players that didn't start today that have had a fantastic season.
Thanks, Ollie.
Cheers.
Go for it, Duncan.
Hi, Ollie. Just looking, United now it's 15 unbeaten on the bounce. You're really putting the pressure on the guys. Leicester as well in it now. Do you feel as though you're on a roll to something special this season?
Well, we're too far behind to be on the roll to something special, because special for this club is not where we are. But of course, the team is improving, and I think we're in with a shout for the Champions League next year. We've still got the FA Cup and Europa League to play, and the team is improving. The players coming back, the team, the style is better. I think we can play against different types of teams now. We know we've got pace and pace on the counter and pace when the space are there. But now we got more players, and we're better at dominating teams as well.
Ole, Mr. Nice Guy. He sounds more confident. Team's playing confident. And he should be confident because he's done a good job, and the team's kicking on.
I mean, he said it all. Playing against different types of opposition style, plays improving, a la the counterattack goal. Bruno have a drink of milk. I mean, unbelievable. Ole aced everything today. I think the team aced everything today. But again, you can look at Chelsea. You can see them beating City, riding high, struggling against West Ham. That Amos. We're going to check in with top 4 here. We're only going to talk about third place down here going forward. We're not concerned with those other 2 clubs. They've yet to play. They play tomorrow, so that will be an interesting game. Looking at Leicester City here, they actually lost unbelievably to Everton 2-1. So shout out to the Toffees for doing one on us. I mean, they made it tough on us this season, but at least they're making it tough on Leicester as well. 55 points. The big news, Chelsea bottling it against the Hammers, and that includes a very, very favorable VAR call as well. Should have been 4-2. David Moyes, shout out to David Moyes, tactical genius. You hear his voice at the beginning of this podcast. He's so out of his depth at Manchester United. He was like deer in the headlights, had no idea what he was doing. But you know what? He knows how to get into favor with United fans, and that was beaten. Those Chelsea scum. Absolutely hate that club. Love Pooley, hate that club.
Yeah, all day. We better not talk too fast about David Moyes because he might tactical genius his way to a win when he plays us in a couple of weeks.
Well, he won't dare. He's shaking in his boots. I screamed so loud. If you didn't watch the Chelsea game, literally counterattack goal. Was it Larmachenko in the 90th minute to just hit him at the death? Clearly, the 1 point shouldn't matter because they'll be even on Leicester at 55. Now they have 54. But just to see the Chelsea Blues sink, I got to text on that thread. Felt really good, sir. Felt like a win all around. United take 3. Leicester, Chelsea drop 3 against bad teams. Could we have drawn it up better?
We couldn't have, but it feels like deja vu all over again because we were kind of in this position, riding high. Teams in front of us were collapsing. Now we got to just kick on. We've shown it. We've looked great last 2 games in the league, so we got to go out with starting 11 and just keep bashing teams. Work on that goal differential. So if it does come into play with Leicester at the end of the season, we have that advantage, or get it close.
So we'll get to the goal differential in a sec. Wolves, the other rival, you have to mention them. They're tied with us on 52 points. They beat Villa and they play Arsenal Saturday. So a big game. So if you look at who's everyone playing, we're playing Bournemouth Saturday, July 4th. When is Manchester United playing a real game on July 4th? Shout out to all American Red Devils. # Independence Day. Sir, it says kicking a blue since 1776 on the flag behind you.
It does.
Shout out. We got to give it a shout out there. Saturday, big day. Lots of EPL, barbecue. It's going to be great. Chelsea play Watford. They should win there. Leicester play Crystal Palace. They should win there. Wolves play Arsenal. That's a good match for us to get daylight between. So what we're really seeing is we'll probably be climbing up the table lockstep. Leicester 55, Chelsea 54, United 52, Wolves 52. Goal differential, Leicester 29. They're number 1. Chelsea 13, United 20. Wolves 11. So as long as we are tied on points with Chelsea or Wolves, we're going to get in that top 4 slot. It's only Leicester that's the issue, and it's only 9 goals, sir. So we really got to run up the score.
Brandon Rodgers, they got 6 games left. Brandon Rodgers is just falling apart. They were like riding high. Everyone was like, "Oh, Leicester City's back." Brandon Rodgers, come on, I got to finish out the season. So they are sinking like a stone. And I think, there's a possibility that it's us and Wolves finish in the top 4.
Well, here's the deal. How did the bookies have it? What do you think? What do you think the bookies have Wolves?
Let's find out.
All right, Chelsea, number 1 favorite to make top 4, minus 225. They were minus 350 last time. Woo! So that loss.
Yep.
Not good movement there for Chelsea. Number 2 to make top 4, Manchester United, minus 200, sir. Last week we were a plus 138. Bookies have us odds on to do it over Leicester. Leicester plus 110. They've fallen very poorly from a minus 250. The biggest move of all clubs. Wolves going to plus 300 from plus 400, and Tottenham out of it at an eye-watering minus 2,500. You got to give a shout-out to Tottenham. They probably won't even be on the list. But what a jump for United. We started Project Restart plus 175, bounced around plus 110, plus 138, boom, minus 200. Those 2 losses for Chelsea and Leicester moving the odds makers as they see it. United, the way we're playing, the teams we're playing against, importantly, we should be doing it. Chelsea, Liverpool, and they play Wolves on the last day. That's an important fixture. You got Chelsea, Wolves, United, Leicester, everyone in it to win it right now. Can you imagine those 2 matches, those 4 teams right in it, sir, all within 3 points for top 4? It's going to be a photo finish. I have to think somebody's going to make it and somebody's going to slip on the last day. I hope we lock it up before then, but it's going to be unbelievable.
It's going to be unbelievable. It's you went from no sports to we have so much football, basically football every day, coming fast and furious, and United are on the hunt. I think as long as we focus on what we do well and what we're starting to do really well, and there's enough pressure on the squad through squad rotation and competition for spots, this we should have the objective to not lose again this season. Just roll on, win every game.
Look, we got to do it. We're right there. We're odds on to make it. Like we're on a great roll. We got the easy fixtures. We're lining up. The one thing that pisses me off is Chelsea has Liverpool post-title win. That's the one thing. We got to grind out through Liverpool early in the year, full strength. Chelsea gets this. Jurgen Klopp is going to troll and play no one against Chelsea. I know they're going to do it. Like Ferguson, Sir Alex Ferguson did that. He would play shit teams if we locked up the title against teams that matter just to fuck with them, man. Klopp will put out a really weak side against the Chelsea. Mark my words.
No, he will. I'll put a bunch of kids out.
Because he's going to try to fuck with us. in the battle for top 4. That's how deep the rivalry goes. I mean, it's no joke. I totally expect him not to play kids.
Yeah, but we can't be worried about nobody else but us. It's like we just keep winning. We don't have to worry about it because Leicester are going to drop points. Chelsea, we're going to drop points. Right? West Ham, bro. West Ham.
I'm confident we're going to win out.
I'm not confident we're going to win out, but like this team, if they keep playing this way and start first halves and second halves the way they have, and the defense plays the way they do, and De Gea doesn't let any more gaffers, this team should roll. Because we're better than every team we got to play in the league for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if you bet that one plus 175,
I did.
You love the odds right now. We got a next match, sir. We can't get on our high horse too much about top 4. That's right, Manchester United versus AFC Bournemouth, English Premier League. Playing at Old Trafford, the bump on Independence Day, July 4th, sir, 7 a.m. Pacific. An early one, but not too early. We've played AFC Bournemouth 17 times. We've won 11, drawn 3, lost 3. Your boy Eddie Howe, you wanted him to be that Manchester United manager at one point. I think when Mourinho was out.
It must have been desperate. It must have been desperate times.
You're a big Eddie Howe guy.
Big time.
Big time. Big Eddie Howe fan. First played AFC Bournemouth in January 1949. We won 6-0 in the FA Cup. Same year, silly putty was invented, sir. I thought I'd give a shout out to that silly putty. I haven't seen that in a while.
Neither have I.
I think iPads replaced silly putty for children. We used to have to play with clay.
Simpler times.
Started from the bottom. Formed in 1899 as Bascombe St. John's Institute. The club adopted their current name in 1971, nicknamed the Cherries. Bournemouth have played their home games at Dean Court since 1910. Their home colors are red and black striped shirts with black shorts and are inspired by the Italian club AC Milan. The Cherries, what a great name for Eddie Howe's men. AFC Bournemouth's honors include winning the second and third tiers of English football once each, the Associate Members' Cup once, and the Football Third Division South Cup. Those are all trophies you really don't need.
Haven't done much.
Football League Third Division South Cup, sir. I think I remember you starting one of those matches.
I did my need about 6 minutes.
The club has spent the majority of their history bouncing between the third and fourth tiers of English football under manager Eddie Howe. They know how. They've risen through the pyramid since the 2015-16 season. It was their first ever in the top flight, and I actually looked that up. They actually got pinned from financial fair play coming up from the championship. I didn't think they were in that, but they did invest too much in their squad. The real number here, though, is their form in the last 6. They're a wounded animal, sir, and Bournemouth we've had trouble against. They've lost 5 and drawn 1 in their last 6. Chelsea, Wolves, and Leicester have beaten them. It might be a spoiler, sir. They might be a spoiler. I'm just saying, it seems like too easy. It seems too easy right now for Manchester United in this fixture.
I mean, you would think the whole run of games until Leicester and Chelsea are too easy. So this team, if it keeps performing, they're going to keep winning. Bournemouth, if you remember that game, I think that was the second game Ole was in charge, and Rashford and Pogba had some unbelievable link-up. So the team is playing well, even when you have some players that aren't having, maybe terrific games. Like Martial and Rashford both had quiet games, but the team was like lights out, But that was the difference between scoring 3 goals, 5 goals. I think if we come out hot and don't make stupid errors, the only people that can beat us are ourselves.
And shout out to the physioroom.com for the injuries. Twanzebe, Phil Jones, both out with injuries. I'm going to say the key here is, can we stay healthy? I mean, what would this team look like with no Bruno Fernandes? I mean, you put Lingard in, you put Mata in, the team looks different. It's a different dynamic. We got to make sure we stay healthy. Knock on wood, I'm pumped that we didn't have any injuries from that tight turnaround of fixtures and getting a lot of minutes on those legs. Because all the physios would tell you that is going to factor into that. Sir, lineup, who do you got for Bournemouth?
Now there could be no claim of copying lineups because there's like a de facto starting 11 that we can basically. And I switched it up a little bit just for your sake. De Gea, back for AWB, Bailly, Maguire, and Shaw. Right, Lindelof gets the hook, so Bailly can get some minutes. Matic, Pogba, Bruno, midfield. Who else? Rashford, Martial, Greenwood up front. You play them until they stop winning, and that's the way you got to do it.
You're benching Lindelof there. I'm going to say the same lineup. We all know the best 11: De Gea, Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Matic, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. I think that's a lock, sir. I appreciate you pulling the whole ESPN split screen disagreeing with me just for the sake of it. But, we all know the starting 11. We can be honest.
We do. I'm just trying to mix it up.
Bailly coming on. I like that one. Booking the bookies: Bournemouth plus 700, the draw plus 700, United minus 700. Big favorites, sir. We haven't been on this side of the odds for a while from the bookies over there at William Hill. They're starting to see something. The magic is back in the air. Santa Claus is real, sir.
Those are some vintage odds. Those are some 2008 odds. Minus 700. And we're favorites, but that's quite a spread.
Hype train is real. There's to score: Martial plus 250, Rashford plus 260, Igalo plus 300, Greenwood plus 450, Bruno at the same line, Pogba plus 7,700, and the Fred watch plus 2,200. Fred going from plus 28 against Brighton down to plus 2,200.
He's due.
Whenever he's going to shoot, I always yell at the TV. Looking at Brighton, Harry Wilson, Joshua King plus 1,400, plus 1,600. It's almost too good to be true.
That's a good bet. Right? We're due to leak one.
We are due to leak one. Whether it be a Harry Maguire getting beat like a dog or David slipping through the fingers, I don't know. I have nightmares from earlier in the season. Score prediction: who do you got?
United 4-1.
I'm going to say 3-0. That seems to be the tradition at the moment. United win it easy, score early. We keep the clean sheet. That's how I would like to see it done. It's too much fun that way. I got to keep it going. United in the news, sir. Let's jump into the latest Manchester United news quickly here before we get into the fan questions. Jadon Sancho: Manchester United will not pay more than $50 million for English winger per Sky Sports, with the Borussia Dortmund demanding in excess of $100 million for Sancho. With 2 years on his contract at Dortmund, United playing hardball, only offering $50 million. This came from official sources in the club. It's since been disputed, people losing their minds. But we all know we don't have the money and we can't pay more than $50 million even if we make Champions League. Sir, I have the financial projections on the website. Sky Sports should just reach out to me, right?
Sounds like it, but that sounds like the kitty for the summer. Champions League or not, $50 million is about what United has to spend. Maybe this is a negotiation tactic, or maybe this is just them tempering expectations, because a $50 million offer is not going to get, what, is he 19, 20, Jadon Sancho? So it's just, we're a little way off from that. Hopefully if we get a third-place finish, some silverware, and the extra Champions League money, they'd be willing to leverage the club a little farther to make the additions we need.
Sir, I've been known to haggle in my day.
Certainly have.
Dortmund won $100. United will pay you $50. How about $80 with milestones? We'll pay you $42.5 up front. We'll give you $100 in milestones. Something. This is just, they're doing two things putting this out there, right? You gotta temper expectations. You also gotta take a shot at Dortmund in the press because there's so much hype. Also, Sancho wants out. Pressure's on Dortmund. You leak this to the press. Set expectations from the fans. It can be spun in a positive way. Hey, we're not going to overspend. We're actually concerned on getting quality, not just going for the Sanchez deals anymore. That's kind of the theme. They played hardball with Bruno. We remember that took the entire month, almost didn't get done. You're seeing how it's going to be done with Sancho. It's going to come down to the wire, and they're going to say, hey, Dortmund, do you want to go for 1 year left on his deal and maybe have him lose him on a free?
Also, valuations have already shifted. Like Leroy Sané, $55 million is a steal. That would not happen a year ago, 6 months ago.
No, absolutely.
He's a $80 million transfer.
1 year on his deal?
Is that what he did?
Yeah, I think that might be the case.
Okay.
Next article, Manchester United give Bruno Fernandes new nickname after Brighton win, and this is all about that milk, sir. Everyone's calling him the Milkman. Hysterical after we already coined that nickname for Chris the Milkman Smalling, but now it's Bruno the Milkman Fernandes. What do you make of that one?
I wasn't sure what it was. Well, I was like, is he drinking milk? He's drinking milk, so good for him. He earned it. He earned that milk.
No, absolutely. And, the Got Milk advertising campaign's kind of died down, so everyone's forgot. Next bit of news, when Scholes speaks, we listen. He was on Instagram, I believe, and he said, "Well, then I think we have a football team." I think that was his Instagram story. Paul Scholes, when he's excited about United, everyone should be. Great quote from him. Doesn't have to say a lot there. And then Neville replied, "Quote, takes a lot to impress him." So Paul Scholes, he's a big critic. Everyone knows I'm a big fan. Paul Scholes, what do you make of that one?
Everybody at the American Red Devils is a big fan of Paul Scholes. He hasn't been, gotten enjoyment from watching Manchester United in a long time. So for him to see that he's seen something, I think we see the same thing, right? The starting 11 just speaks for itself. It proved it when it went out, twice in a row now, 3 times in a row now. So he's excited as the rest of us. We're just ready for this team to keep doing it, keep proving that they got it, right? They got to beat these lowly teams. And then you got to smash Chelsea and just you
got to win trophies and you got to get top 4.
You got to do both convincingly. You got to finish third. Now that it's within 3 points and you've got this run of fixtures, if you're the real deal, you got to finish in third because Leicester's going to drop points.
Yeah,
Chelsea's going to drop points.
The fans need to be on it because at the end of the day, the expectation for this club has got to be win the league. That's where our bread is buttered. Always Champions League. We always can improve there. But at the end of the day, United have to spend. We don't have the money, unfortunately. Something's got to give. So if Ole does his job, the players do theirs. We got to get the green and gold out because we have to demand investment. Because look, Chelsea's pipping some players. They're getting some good deals. Sané went to Bayern. Things like that. We got to be getting players. We got to be improving. There are players that we need to compete for the title. If you really look at the depth here, we did fall off when the subs came on. That is a valid criticism. When the subs did come on for Manchester United, we did not play as well.
No, I mean
it was starting 11.
There's quite a step down in talent versus Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, and a Fred. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of the game. I think they're going to get better as they get more minutes. Right, those players that are in the starting 11 have gotten a disproportionate amount of minutes since the restart, but. We need to add depth. If you want to compete for leagues and you want to compete for European titles as well, you need to have top players on the bench as well. And we've got solid players on the bench, but we need back another striker, we need another midfielder, we need another center back. This team needs investment. So I think it's critical that we finish the season strong because we're going to have more money because Champions League finish, and there's just going to be more momentum with the club. So I think the Glazers, Woodward are going to be more open to spending money even during, a pandemic because
they have to be open to raising money to spend the money because they don't
raise money.
Well, I'll give them $20. Probably not.
Get rid of that Chevy logo.
You know what's funny on my jerseys? The sponsor on the front never falls off. It's the numbers on the back that always do.
So
I know they screen print those, and the sponsors come on super stuck, but that's a little unfair. It's a little the player should, I don't know. I got to complain. I always got to complain for something. Sir, next bit of news. Manchester United confirm Angel Gomez exit after midfielders fails to agree to a new contract. Where did it go wrong with Angel Gomez? You going to miss him? Greenwood celebration. He did the A upside down. That was a shout-out to his boy Angel. Sad to see him go. Chongi signs. Tomine resigns. Greenwood's on the team. He's leaving. I mean, if he wants to leave, let him leave, right? I mean, that's kind of one of those things where, hey, if you're worried about playing time at United, go to Chelsea. See how that is.
Exactly. It's a bit of a bummer because, there's a lot of talk about him. Kid's been at the club forever. But United does not lack strong academy talent. And the fact that he wasn't getting any minutes when Jesse Lingard and Pereira were in front of him is a bit of an indictment.
We don't have depth at number 10. We're getting rid of Lingard. And, are we going to go out and buy one?
It's hard to say. But he also wanted to leave, clearly, because he wasn't getting any minutes. I think he wanted more money. And that's just unfortunate. That's just the way it is because United has a lot of players go through their academy, but we've got a lot of talent in this academy. That Hannibal Mejri guy, 17-year-old kid, is supposed to be an absolute talent coming in as well. So hopefully breaking into the senior squad next season. So we got Brandon Williams, we got McTominay, we got Mason Greenwood. 18 years old. Marcus
I understand,
Rashford.
but that's it's a little bit of we're talking about everybody else, not Angel. And for me, Angel, this one, I'm just going to say I just generally probably don't like him just because he wants to leave the club. But at the same time, I think you have to question where did it go wrong. I've heard great things about him. I've always wanted to see more of him in FA Cup on the first team. I just don't know why Lingard got those starts. It has to do with Ole, has to do with behind the scenes. We can't see what's going on. We don't know how training looks. But at the end of the day, I think he should have got a little more love, a little more action starting for the first team in cup games, stuff like this. I really think you could sub him on like Sir Alex used to do. Put him on the bench, sub him on last 10 minutes, you're up. Those are types of things you got to do to keep him around, because the last thing you want is another Paul Pogba situation, right?
Well, I think
he goes on and kills it.
I think Solskjaer has proven at this point that he's a pretty good judge of character. So if he wasn't getting minutes, there's a very likely chance that like maybe something's wrong with his attitude. Maybe he's maybe he wasn't always showing things on in training because other players were in front of him who were often inconsistent on the pitch. So there has to be a reason. I don't think it's just like he picked on him. I think maybe his performance wasn't there to justify him starting.
Well, to be fair, I didn't watch U23s that much. I never saw him play like absolutely lights out where I was like, oh my God, like Greenwood, we got to keep that kid. Whenever he came to the first team, I was just like, eh. But then I always heard good things, so it just made me believe in the hype a little bit. So maybe it was just more like the fan bias. But I thought that there was something there, and you look at the depth, we kind of need another player there if Lingard is going to go. Who knows? We shall see. Maybe Cantwell, my man, double man bun coming in. Cantwell, watch some highlights. We need Cantwell at United, I'll tell you. We gave him like $6 million and a meat pie. We get Cantwell, easy as you like.
I mean, I like that deal. But we got some good players in the academy coming up too, like James Garner. If you've seen him play, I think he's looked more impressive than Gomez has. It's just I don't think he's the size in England. He's not a 10, but he plays as a more like he plays like a Frankie Lampard mode. But the future's bright for United. Gomez, we wish you the best, but it was a lot of hype. I think there was a lot of hype, like from an early age, and we never saw nothing because I don't think he ever got enough minutes. And I think that's probably just like shame on us, shame on him. But we never got to see him shine. Wishing him all the best. Hopefully he just cracks on and makes the academy look great because it's a solid academy.
As long as he doesn't play in England, I agree with you. Next bit of news, don't need to cover this too much.
No, you don't.
Alexis Sanchez apparently will not play for Manchester United. Again, this is coming from The Athletic. They get paid over there at The Athletic. They kind of know what they're talking about here.
Kind of.
Who's worse, Sanchez, Di Maria, or Falcao, sir? Who's worse?
Worst player or worst personality?
I'd just say you have to add them all up into one.
No, it's Di Maria. He's the bottom of the barrel. Because it just went so sour so quickly, and there was just so much hubbub love. So, I think Sanchez showed decent effort. He must have gotten shipped out because he has off the field issues doing those crazy movies. Me and Alexis, you hear that movie he did?
No, I don't think that. But he did link up with Ashley Young, scored a nice goal. Sanchez wished it would have worked out. Clearly it didn't, and he took a lot of money out of the club. Sir, fan questions, jumping into it on Twitter. Appreciate the banter as always. At Lou_Dav77, quote, one more goal for Bruno for the hat trick to listen to the Bruno chant at the beginning of the pod. Shout out to Lou. I think that's a great tradition. It only took how many years? 7 years for the first hat trick.
7 years, but I think there's another hat trick around the corner. I think Mason's going to score a hat trick. He looks like he can score a hat trick. So does Bruno. So does Pogba. Rashford hasn't even gotten sharp yet. So they're back on the menu, boys.
As always, at Jamie Clayton, AW Beast Mode was fantastic. I could sense some forced pressure from Dan James with his 2 shots on goal after he watched Mason G overtaken for the starting position and then put on a show today. Am I seeing something that isn't there? My girlfriend says I do this often.
Mason Greenwood looks like he's going to keep his spot in the starting 11. An 18-year-old to take your spot, you can't feel too bad if he's Mason Greenwood because he looks like he could take anybody's spot at the moment.
And at Mikey Dubs 09, Mason Greenwood rated a 10 for me. An amazing talent. Bruno 10, of course. Matic 9 for me. He is the backbone of the squad. Come on, West Ham. Obviously, that was yesterday. He predicted it. I love those player ratings. Unbelievable. At Michael Magales on Twitter, quote, do we need as a club to get to a point where we can take our chances with Greenwood's insane development and look to throw our money in areas other than Sancho? What do you make of that? Do we got the answer on the right wing for Greenwood?
No, you need competition. This is Manchester United. We got to be competing for everything. We greatest of English football. We've won it all, and the way you win it all is by having just world-class talent, just like multiple players all over the pitch, and if you're lucky on the bench too. And United have actually had that opportunity. We need that again. And Sancho, I'm not saying he's going to be on the bench, but you can put Greenwood on the bench, you can put Marcus on the bench, you can Martial on the bench, you can rotate him. Competition is good, and that's why this squad is going to get better and better, because there is competition right now in every position. So, we need Sancho, and we need more. But we're on to something.
At Jack_Reader, quote, probably the most I've smiled in a United game this season. We toyed with them. We made him look weak. Bruno's post-match interview was also class, something we didn't talk about. He's clearly team first, which you'll love to see, sirs. Hashtag Glazers out. Hashtag Red Army. I mean, Bruno, class all around. Bruno, Mr. Nice Guy, on that presser as well.
That was a ridiculous presser. We should have talked about that earlier. But what a gent, what a legend. Our Portuguese Magnifico, just a class act, knows what to say. He's like, I deserve, if we don't deserve the attention as a team, it's all about that. And it's all about winning. And he's got an elite mentality, and he's going to push everybody around him. Future captain, Bruno Fernandes.
At I Note It All, quote, what do you guys make of Greenwood's tribute to Angel Gomez after the goal? That was interesting.
Hey, man, it's like his buddy. They grew up together in the academy. He's on his way. He's just a little respect, respect. I get it.
At MJ Fitz 16, team is cruising. Would like to hear some praise for Ole, particularly from Craig Burley. That's right. ESPN had the picture. ESPN had the
Craig Burley.
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 Burley's like the drunk guy at the end of the bar in the ESPN studio. I mean, ESPN FC, gotta feel bad for those guys, right? I mean, it's just like it's such a ragtag crew. I don't even think they take it seriously at the end of the day. I mean, like, your brother used to work at ESPN, sir. You know all about that.
Yeah, they got a real eye for talent, especially on the soccer side. They basically have the same crew from like 15 years ago when a lot less people in the United States watch soccer. So they haven't really made steps.
No, they got these like ex-MLS mediocre dudes, like some weird. I mean, they have a weird combo, and it's almost like when they're all there, they're kind of just all like, "What are we doing?" Like, we know we signed these contracts, and we're living in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut at the studio, and we're hanging out on Saturday for some reason. It's like there's like some contempt there for everybody. They don't. That's the part I enjoy is kind of they all kind of make fun of each other a little bit
because they know they're all a bunch of chubs. He's like, I can't believe I'm on with this guy. They don't want to be there.
Yeah, exactly. At you boasting on Twitter, love a happy pod after a big win. Followed Fergie's trusted old game plan, score early and kill him out on the break. Matic, Harry, Mason, Wan-Bissaka, and Bruno get a 10. Rashley gets a 6 because of his good work rate. Output was shocking. Everyone else in between. Cheers to Ulrich. I like those player ratings as well. Quote, we got another one from Newton Heath, KC. Does your face hurt for smiling for the last 3 hours? It does. We're looking good from at Dave Bow. A lot of numbers after that one. Can't do that one. And, sir, we'll finish it up here with 2 more. What do you think of Martial's performance from at Bullet237? He was kind of MIA. Anything to talk about there?
I mean, it just happens, Everyone else was such a standout that he didn't have much to do, and that's just the way the game goes. So I'm not worried about Martial. He's going to get to 20.
All right, we're going to finish it out on a good note here. At Dave Paz on Twitter, 3 goals, 3 points. Bruno and Pogba were brilliant. Matic in a Rolls Royce in the midfield, just purring, sir.
Purring.
United are purring. Shout out to Arlo White. NBC, LFC, come on. They can't stop talking about Liverpool. They're covering other games talking about Liverpool.
I got to upgrade to Telemundo. Because I cannot watch NBC Sports because it's just only talking about all the commercials.
Dave Pods goes on to say, and Greenwood is absolute dynamite. Happy days and good night, sir. That is the podcast. We appreciate you. We're doing it late here, Pacific time. Like I said, your wife, you got to get back to the baby, sir. She's going to kill you. It's been a long pod. These long pods,
They love them. They love them. It's just the bang, bang long pod. But we got a lot of games coming, and this pod never sleeps. Appreciate everybody that writes for the blog. Appreciate everybody that listens to the pod, that buys the merch. We've put up with some shit as Manchester United fans. We've had great. Hey, no one should feel bad for a Manchester United fan ever. We are blessed to be United fans, but the last 7 years have been rough, and it's fun to get excited to get into bet football. I'm like so excited to see where this team can go.
No, absolutely. It's all to play for, and that's what makes it exciting. I mean, like, we got everything. We got FA Cup, we got Europa League, we got top four. We are feeling good. We're playing great football, sir. You know, always at the wheel. It feels great. And doing this pod is awesome. It's easy. It's for fans by fans. That's what it's all about here. You know, we're not some guys wearing suits in the studio who don't want to be there. It's just all about this club, all about the greatest fans in the world. And shout out to everyone who listens to the podcast, supports it. We feel the love, and it makes us keep going. You know, this is like pumping out lots of content here, but we do it for the love of it, sir. You know, it's just this club, everything, what it means to us in the last 15 years, you know, and part of our friendship as well. Can't wait to get back to England, drink some dark ale, sing with the away support. I mean, that's all I'm missing. You know, it's been too long, you know, because we weren't able to go this year. But, you know, having it back it's like my life's changed for the good. I mean, this has been a hard time on everyone, but football's back. We're in it, baby. United. Let's go.
It's fun to have them back. It's fun to have a summer. You know, a lot of tough things going around everywhere, but to have some football back and a lot of football and your team playing well. So it's looking good. How good does it feel?
Yeah, no, I hope everyone's doing very well, sir. We got some top downloads last 7 days. You want to rip through that list real quick? We got to shout out everyone who's been downloading and listening to the pod here.
Absolutely. Number 1, how you doing? Coilerville, Tennessee. Number 2, Chicago, Illinois. Number 3, New York. Number 4, Bangkok, Thailand. Number 5, College Station, Texas. Number 6, Granite City, Illinois. Number 7, Newton Abbott, United Kingdom. Number 8, Eugene, Oregon. Number 9, Boise, Idaho. And last but not least, Ashburn, Virginia. Appreciate all the downloads. Appreciate everybody who supports the pod. Sir, got football, baby.
americanreddevils.com. Click on store. We got it there. Drop a review on iTunes. You heard it all. You know it all, sir. How good does it feel?
Always at the wheel.